Alright, here we go. Mic is on. We're doing it. We're making it happen. One messed up stream at a time. I've always thought of myself as being pretty tech savvy, but for whatever reason, I have just struggled with OBS. So, I don't know. I can't get it right. But that's okay. I'll get it right someday. My brain just, for whatever reason, just is not wanting to latch on to how all of this works and like how OBS talks to like Twitch and YouTube and how all of the plugins work and how in the heck the like notifications work. There's a little dog hair in my brush bristles. This brush is getting towards the end of its life. But also, yeah, I don't know. I should have a little sign like right here that's like, these are my interests. Chat to me about them. I'm not actually entirely sure that I am live on YouTube. Yeah, I am. Okay. Well, that's good. We out here. Alright. But anyways. Yeah, this is an older mini. This Tiefling Artificer. And because of that, there were a few things about her that caused her to be somewhat difficult to print, kind of fragile. You know, would break easily. These dragon wings of the dragon up on her shoulder would break a lot. And so I went back in and I updated it a little bit. And now I'm painting her again. This is one I never actually really painted, I don't think, as a mini. I probably did it at one point. But yeah, I've been going in and giving some love to some older models. So yeah, I don't know how long of a stream this is going to be today. I'm still kind of getting a feel for if I like doing painting streams. And like if they work well. I see them actually a lot on TikTok, so I feel like they're pretty popular as a medium. I've kind of been wanting to do more painting streams for a while now, but I've been focusing so much on modeling. This is gonna be kind of a low energy stream today, I think. And maybe kind of a shorter one. Once again, we'll be working out some of the bugs. One thing I could do actually is throw up a little screen grab, a close-up of the model that I'm painting. Maybe I'll do that on this little screen here. Let's see. Media source. If I can find it. I see, okay. Oh, image, okay. We out here, we figuring it out. I was like, where are all of my images? There we go. Okay. This is a little bit of a jump scare, but we'll make it a little smaller. Alright. That's kind of fun, I think. Fun and fresh. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm gonna do her shirt. I think I'm gonna make her a red tiefling. Maybe a little bit of sacrilege, but oh well. I know I'm generally a purple tiefling girly, but here we are. Woo! Hi Shiro, yes. Painting stream when? It's happening today. Let me know if the sound is good. I am just going off of my microphone for both talking and music. So, well, let me know if you can hear me. How's it going? It's going all right. Feeling a little low energy today, but I think that is perfect for some mini painting. How are you? I am working on painting some of these older models that I went back in and updated so that they print a little better now. Sounds good on this end. Awesome. I definitely wasn't muted for the first 2 minutes of this stream. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do mostly neutral colors for her. Give her a little bit of a like kind of not a steampunk look exactly, but kind of like an earthy look. And then her skin will be a nice warm red color. And this model has another little model that goes with it. Where did I put it? She's also got a little dragon. Oh my god, here we go. A little steel defender dragon that's like the same as the one that's on her shoulder, but big, which I love. And I went in and I beefed up this model too. The wings used to be so thin and fragile and they would just break off so quickly. But now he's looking a little better. So I'm not sure why the chat isn't populating on the screen here. Let's see. Oh, probably because it isn't popped out, maybe? Oh, hell. There we go. All right. But yes, these are also on my Colts 3D page. I have not, I don't think, uploaded the updated versions. I think the plan was to get them painted and photographed, and then I will upload the updated versions. But they will also be, so yeah, the old versions are up there. And they're also, these were part of my the Hag's Lair Kickstarter. So they're also on that collection that you can get on Gumroad. There are so many little tiny supports that I missed when I was post-processing these. Just these teeny little ones. I try to avoid these teeny tiny little supports whenever I can. But for like these little ones underneath the tail and like on the dragon's little tiny chin, like I don't know if you can see that, but like right underneath his little chin there's like some little tiny supports. They're so small. I just neglected to snip them before I primed him. I'm so lazy with support removal. I'm so lazy with post-processing in general. Like you can see, I could have like sanded off the bottom of this, but I didn't. So now there's still these little like notches from the supports underneath. I had a friend once be like, don't you like take photos of these to like help you sell them? And I was like, yes. And he was like, so, but you don't like polish them for post-processing? And I was like, nope. I do not. I sure don't. Same, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, and like I said, like I try my best to just avoid them altogether. But for this little tiny guy, he really needed some little tiny supports. So, oh well. I think I also thickened up her horns a little bit. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do a super thick layer of this paint on her shirt. I don't usually see the small supports until after I primed the minis. Yeah, same. Same, and I should know where they all are because I put them there by hand on purpose. But then I left with little unprimed stuff. Yeah, when they're little enough, you can just paint over them, and it's not a big deal. Okay, let's do some of this here speed paint. I'm not sure why this isn't updating. I swear, trying to get this chat displayed on screen is gonna kill me. Just don't know why it's not updating live. Oh, interesting. I wonder why it's doing it that way. I don't know, but I think that should fix the problem here. Okay. And no one's watching on Twitch, so Twitch chat will just be blank. It'll just be a blank little square. I suppose I could make a label for these overlays, but I haven't. Like I said, my brain seems to be resistant to understanding how OBS works and functions. So we're never gonna get too fancy schmancy over here on Ella's Arcanum live streams, but that's okay. It is what it is. And yeah, I know some people get like super fancy with their post-processing and they'll pull out like their the Dremel and they'll do all sorts of like polishing and like, you know, finishing it up. And I can't be bothered. Just cannot be fucked. Doesn't need to be fancy, exactly. It does not need to be fancy. It's just D&D. It's just a mini. Am I taking pictures of them to put on... Am I taking super close-up pictures of them to post on my website? Yes. So will people see when they're not absolutely perfect? Yes. But you know what? I just think that helps me outrun the AI claims, you know? Not that anyone's accusing me of being AI, but if they did, then I could point at my work and been like, do you see how imperfect and lazy this is? There ain't no weird AI sheen on here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Your stuff is all cool regardless. Hey, thanks. That's really nice of you to say. What have you been working on lately? You been painting anything good? Been making anything cool? Been writing anything? See, if I can't get this chat to behave... Not really been busy getting my wedding stuff. You didn't tell me you're having a wedding? That's so exciting. Tell me everything. I love a wedding. I love a wedding. Oh my god, tell me everything about it. Wedding? When is it? Where are you having it? How many people will you be having? What will you be wearing? I'm starting to feel like maybe for these little tiny straps, speed paints weren't exactly the move. So I might go back in and fix them up later. But then I'll need to color match. Now I'm feeling lazy. My sister's getting married this summer in August. And she's getting married in the UK. I think I've talked about this before on live, but I am so excited for her to get married. It's not for another 2 years, but we're having it where my partner and I first met. Ooh, that's so nice. Oh, I bet it'll be really special. Yeah, this week I ordered a couple of dresses to try to figure out what I'm gonna wear to my sister's wedding. Hey, congrats to your sister. Thank you. I will pass it along. Yeah, and her wedding planning has been a little chaotic because she and her fiance both work, they're both sailors. So they work on this sailing vessel, this like sailboat company that sails out of Fiji and New Zealand. and I think Tasmania, all like that area around there, South Pacific. And so they're like on a boat in the middle of the ocean, but then also trying to like plan wedding stuff. So it's a little chaotic because also the wedding, her whole family is here in Washington State, and then his family is in the UK, and the wedding's happening in the UK, and then they're in the South Pacific. And not only are they in the South Pacific, but they're on a boat in the middle of the ocean in the South Pacific. So scheduling has been a little bit chaotic, and planning and stuff. Okay, I think I am gonna get a different paint for this. We're gonna see if I can get a reasonable color match here. It's kind of where I live, just on the other side. Yeah. So I think, but it'll be a good wedding. I think it's gonna be really beautiful. They're just they're having it out in the garden of his family's, where his family lives. And her dress is gonna be really pretty. She bought it on Etsy, and then she's having a tailor in town kind of customize it for her. So I think it's gonna be really gorgeous. Well, that's actually a pretty good match. Alright, I'm happy with that. Well, this is all kinds of messy. I think this little chunk here, I'm just like trying to decide what's gonna be speed paint and what's gonna be regular paint, because there are so many little details on this model. I'm really glad I have my magnifying glass here, because she's small. This will be the darker color. I suppose I have a few more colors of brown speed paint now that I could potentially use. But I think I'll keep it simple for this, and then on some of the more detail pieces, I'll go in with some different colors. I don't want it to have too many things going on color-wise, because there's already a lot of things going on detail-wise. And I have no idea what color scheme I'm going to do the dragon. I should do silver, or gold, or bronze, or some combination of all three. Or should I just keep him pretty simple and just go all one color? Definitely gonna go metallic. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I know a cool trick for painting a war in gold. Well, do tell. Hotties don't gatekeep. Spill it. I tend to be pretty quick and dirty when it comes to painting metallics. I will just do a metallic acrylic paint and a wash, generally, and call it a day. Should thin this a little bit more. Ah, not that much though. Base it with a neutral brown, then stipple with a metallic gold, then add an umber wash if you prefer. Oh, that seems pretty doable. I think I can do that. What color is umber? I have... I got the Army Painter wash kit, so I got most of them. Plus, I think that's all of my washes actually. Yeah, I got most of them, but I don't know. I'm an uncultured swine. I don't know what umber is. Okay, I think I'm gonna do... I'm trying to decide if I want to do a third color for the boots and the arms. I think I will. Break it up a little bit more. We'll do kind of like this warrior skin. It's like a good medium brown, but you really have to shake it up. You can use a sepia wash instead. Okay. Is umber like the name of a particular color of paint? Umber, is it like a citadel? Oh, Vallejo. Vallejo umber wash. Oh, okay. It's like a greenish. Okay. All right. I see. Oh, no, it's like a brown. Okay. We'll probably use like a mid brown would be my guess. Yeah, it's like a brown. All right. Cool. We got there in the end. Okay. Warrior skin. I was shaking up warrior skin. Okay, well then we'll try that for the dragon. We'll do a worn gold. We could do like a worn gold and then maybe like a tarnished silver for like the parts of the wings that are like the middle parts, like in between the like the webbing part Maybe we could do like a silver, a kind of warmish silver, just to add a little bit of contrast. Nice, nice. Okay, I like this plan. What color should we do? She has these little potions on the side of her leg, kind of like strapped there. What color should we do those? We could do a bunch of different colors. What kind of potions do we think she has? I think in renders in the past, oh, I already put some. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so distracted. I think in renders in the past, I've just made them all green, but I am open to change, or like a combination of colors. I might actually decide that after I've done her skin and see what colors I feel like I don't have on the model yet. The most viral TikTok I've ever made got like 100K views, which for me is a lot. Was just like a little clip of me in ZBrush using a curve brush to put all the little laces on these shoes. And I put like a little clip, like a little audio clip of Michael from The Office. It was just the dumbest little video. I threw it up there. I spent like 2 minutes working on it. Of course, it's like the most views I've ever gotten on a TikTok. What are you gonna do? New classic red, blue, and green. One for health, one for magic, and one for stamina. Alright, I like that. I like that. I think that is gonna be the move. Because I've got, there's 6, so we could do 2 of each. Okay, I like this kind of in-between color for the boots. I think that was a good choice. And then I'm probably gonna do a wash over this shirt to kind of bring out some of the wrinkles, and then maybe go in and do a little bit of highlighting, and then I'll start it on the skin. I painted last week one of my cultist models, and oh my god, he turned out so good. And I worked really hard on the skin, because he doesn't have, he just has like a little bit of, he just has like a little piece of chain over his torso. So, here we go. I had a lot of skin to work with, and so I worked really hard on making it look good, and I feel like it turned out really good. I worked really hard on it, and then my friend Percy let me borrow their blood for the blood god, and so he's got a little smattering of blood all over him. But I tried really hard, and I feel like it turned out so good. Anyways, I'm feeling quite pleased with that. Classic artist things. Make something dumb and low effort. Everyone loves it. Put a lot of work in, crickets. Yes! Exactly. You understand my pain. Alright, YouTube says there's 9 people watching this stream, which is amazing. So, if you're here and you're lurking, that's fine. I'm not calling anyone out. But also, say hello. Don't be shy. I want to chat. I want to hang out with you. I want to make friends. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I feel like I've been working really hard on my painting the last year or so, and I feel like I just really popped off. But you can also see, what I did with you can see what I did with the metallic too on his little headpiece thing, and also on the silver. I truly just went in with like my metallic paint, metallic acrylic, and then I did a little dark wash over top and was like, done. I spent like 4 hours on the skin, and then the metal I was like, choo choo, done. Okay. Alright, going back in, doing this little tiny strap. It's like a decent color match. I just don't want to do the speed paint on these little teeny tiny straps. Oh, except that's not the color that I wanted to paint it. God damn it, Matt. Okay. I think that's good. And then I was gonna do a really... Should I do a wash over the shirt, or should I just do one of these speed paints that doesn't have much pigment in it? I think I'll do a wash. Okay. Let's see. We'll do light tone. These Army Painter washes, the old ones, are like kind of weird. I want to buy the new ones because I'm sure they're better formulated, but also like I just can't really justify throwing out these old ones. Can you bring it closer to the camera? Let's see. Oh. Still blink on it. I don't know, but I would probably go on to, if you want something that you can 3D print. Okay, this is, I'm not sure what's happening with this guy here. But if you don't cut it out, I'm gonna block you. I would go on either Etsy if you're looking for something real and wearable, or I would go onto Medieval Collectibles if you're looking for like something that you can actually like wear to LARP in. But if you're just looking for something to like print as a mini and that you can kit bash, I would go on Colts 3D or like Thingiverse or something. Okay, this brush is just about trashed. I think it might be time to call it quits on that one. That's my goal. Real and metal. Yeah, I would go on Medieval Collectibles. They're like a they're like a middleman for like LARPing and like Ren Fair armor and like weapons and stuff. So there's like they'll take they host like a bunch of different brands and like just compile them all into one like kind of one-stop shop. That's where I've gotten my stuff that I've worn to Ren Fair. So I would say that's where I would start. I don't know about replica stuff, but that's where I would start. That or Etsy. This wash is looking a little bit dark, but I can always go in and do some highlights. Thanks, you're welcome. Also welcome in. Yeah, last summer for Ren Fair, I really wanted to wear some armor, like leather armor. So that is where I got my stuff. I ended up just wearing some like leather. They weren't quite I don't know. Are they pauldrons if they're leather? I don't remember what they were called. And then a gorget is what I learned is called, like a little piece around like your collarbone. And it was fun. I learned a lot. I learned how to condition leather and shape it into a nice shape. And I learned that it's really hot in August if you're wearing a leather shell over the upper half of your body. But I feel like I looked great. I don't think I'm gonna go to Ren Fair this summer. I'd call them pauldrons. Okay. We'll call them pauldrons then. Thanks, Shira. I appreciate your consistent validation. It is very appreciated. Okay. I think I'm gonna start it on the skin now. I have a little bit of the fear, but I'm gonna work to overcome it. Okay. I think we're gonna do a red tiefling, y'all. Do I have the technology? I have vampire red. I think I'm gonna do vampire red for the base, and then probably a flesh wash over that, and then probably agate skin. I might just dilute vampire red with this opal skin to get like a little bit of a nice highlight gradient. It's mostly just for the face. So I don't think we're gonna have, I'm gonna try not to overthink it. But I don't think I'm gonna do the red tone. I think I'm gonna stick with the flesh wash so that it doesn't look, so that she doesn't look like a tomato. She looks like she has skin and not a sunburn. Okay, excuse my creaky chair. I suppose I'll do a shameless drop a like and subscribe plug also, because there's a handful of people here. That's so fun. Thanks guys for tuning in. I see you even if you're lurking. I appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Thin your paints, bro. My instinct is to darken this red a little bit, but I'm trying very hard to not make my minis so goddamn dark all the time. So we're gonna keep it light and bright and easy breezy beautiful. Oh, she's gonna be red like my one true love, Karlach. My wife. You can also tell that this is an old model because I didn't really do anything with her tail. I just kind of like gave her one. My newer models, when I make tieflings, I give them like little, like kind of scaly textures or patterns on their tails. Just because like it's kind of a lot of real estate for it to be completely smooth. I did, though, when I updated this model, I kind of gave her a little bit more texture on the parts of her hair that are, like, really short. So, there's that. I actually modeled this girly a little bit after my wonderful friend Kate, who I play D&D with and is an engineer, and she works for a company that is trying to work on clean energy. It's like a startup. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I think it's like I think they're trying to make like a clean energy furnace or like engine or something. I don't know, but she's a very cool lady, and she is an engineer, and she works in a lab, and I was like, I want to make an artificer, and I want to make a tiefling, and then I kind of just was inspired by my wonderful friend. And I actually printed her a bigger version of this model, and she has it on her desk at work. I just think that's really nice. I love friendship. Paint's going on a little patchy, but it's nothing another it's nothing another layer can't fix, I'm pretty sure. Another coat, that's what it's called. Alright, I'm liking the red. Oh, and she's got some little rings on her fingers. Okay, well, we'll have to decide on colors for those two. And for those, I will just be going in with a little metallic. I'm not doing anything particularly fancy with a little teeny tiny gem. She's looking very tomato-y right at this moment, but I'm trying to remember to trust the process. So trust the process I shall. Alright. Yeah, she doesn't have actually that much skin showing, so I think it should be a pretty quick and easy painting process. Gotta trust the process, exactly. Exactly. Especially with brightly colored skin like this. And once you go in with the wash, it really starts to come together, honestly, which is only the second step. So... So we won't have to trust the process for very long, I don't think. It's nice to paint just like a big part of the mini, all one bright color. I'm not gonna lie. I think one of the reasons that I do purple tieflings so often is because I just love purple, and I love painting a big part of the mini bright purple. Alright, this is how she's looking so far. We've still got a lot to put paint on, but okay, come on, do the thing. There we go. I think she's looking good so far, though. I need to get a little more paint on her little fingies. But we've got the red on. And once that dries, I will do a flesh wash. I shall wash her flesh. It's coming in nicely, thank you. I feel like I got the paint to a really good thinned consistency, which is hard to do sometimes, so feeling fantastic. Just I'm gonna go in and fill in these little white spots in between her fingers that I missed earlier. I need to go... I wish they made a shade that was like one shade lighter than Corpse Pale. I need something that is like very nearly white, but not quite white yet. Just for like the lightest highlights when I'm trying to make something like a light tan. You feel me? Because I have to mix it up every time. And maybe that's just me being lazy, but I feel like I would pay $4. Or however much paint costs. I don't remember how much I got it for in December. It feels like it's not very much. Well, considering how long a thing of paint lasts me, I feel like it's pretty cheap. And I would pay that amount for a shade that's like almost white. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Wait, try mixing it with orange instead. For the skin tone, for the lighter skin tone? Yeah, I could do that. Make it a little warmer. I think that would look good. I'm just gonna do some really light highlights on the shirt here. Waiting for this skin to be good and dry before I go in with the wash, the flesh wash. I don't know what color theory is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Alright. This shirt's gonna be pretty low effort. I'm just gonna do a little something here. Okay. What should I do for her hair? I'm considering... I don't know what I want to do, actually. Sound off. What color for her hair? Alright. I think it is flesh wash time. For the tail, there's obviously not much texture for it to settle into, but, hello? Why did we just zoom way out? Stop that. There we go. Weird. Yeah, for the tail, there's not much texture for the wash to, like, settle into. But for color consistency, oh my god, I feel like that already looks better. It just, like, gives it a little more of a, I mean, a flesh tone. But do you know what I mean? It just kind of, like, brings it from looking like a Crayola color to, like, you know, it's skin that lives in the sun and has blood running underneath it, to just give it a little bit of a brownish tone. I'll do that when I poly paint too. I'll pick, like, the general skin tone that I want, like, on the brown spectrum, and then I'll add in a layer of, like, like 16 RGB intensity of just like a pink. Alright, I don't know how much that actually helped. I might turn this on real quick. It's gonna get real washed out for a second, but... Hello? Okay. I need just a little more light here. Yeah, I might actually go in and do another layer of red. Got a little blotchy. Alright. That's a little better coverage there. I could still get a little more red on these little tiny fingers. So small. Alright. I should talk about something. I feel like this is too quiet. I don't know what I should talk about though. It's hard. Live streaming's hard. You would think it would be easy. Like, you just get on a camera and then you do things and you talk about them. But I don't know. It's hard to keep doing that for long stretches of time. Okay, I think now that I have a little bit better coverage over her face, question mark, we'll do the wash. All right. I genuinely don't know what color to make her hair. I might do black with like a little bit of red stippled in there. I just noticed the goldfish on the paint water. I know. Isn't this a funny cup? It's like a little sad because as I paint more, their water gets grosser and grosser. But, oh well. It's silly. I think I'm gonna do brown for the horns. I'll do like a dark brown that fades into tan, maybe. I'll do this pallid bone. I got this Bony Matter Speed Paint 2.0. But it's just like a really cool brown. I don't use it for that much. I really like this pallid bone though. I use it all the friggin' time. Alright, we'll start with dark brown and go into tan. I don't know how that turned out. Might rescind that. Oh, I don't know. I need my friend Percy. Percy is my colors are. They pick out all my colors for me. I also have this burnished red that I could try. I know, where is Percy? Percy, get out here. I need you to make color choices. Okay, I have this burnished red. Let's try this for the horns. It's like brown, but it's really red. But it's really brown. We're gonna try this. And then maybe if this works out, I'll use a little bit of it for the hair too. Yeah, I like that. That's better. I just had to sit and have a little think. Okay. What do we think of this? I feel like for the horns, and then I want to do something kind of dark for the hair so that the face really stands out. I have a hangnail that's really annoying me. Do a little bit of organizing here. Okay. That's nice. You know what, Shiro? You're nice. I think, know you. You black with highlights of a deep blue, maybe. Well, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do... I think I'm not gonna do speed paint for the hair. Oh, yuck. Excuse me, sir. Why is it coming out like this? Ew. This is a brand new one too. Why is it coming out all weird? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting. Seems fine now. Okay, and then I have this kind of. Should we do? So I have options here. I have crystal blue that I could darken up. It's this like really vivid. Or I have night sky, which is already pretty deep. I feel like either would be good. I'm kind of tempted to go for the more muted one. Let's see. I can always go brighter if I decide it's too dark. Because I've been saying I'm trying not to make my minis quite so dark when I paint them. And yet my little emo brain is always like, make it darker. Okay. I'm really having to get in there with the paintbrush and these little back parts. I saw someone on Reddit the other day comment on a post where someone like posted a mini that they'd made and were asking for feedback, and someone in the comments was like, it's a huge no-no to make minis where there are parts that you can't get the paintbrush in, so you need to work on that. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, bro. You know what I think? I think that if there's a part that you can't get with your paintbrush, then that's not a part that you can really see anyways. So, there. Okay, my camera keeps zooming out again. You do black with high... Oh, I already read that comment. And I said, yes, it's a good idea. Be out here. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll do this whole thing black, and then I'll do the crystal blue, the really vibrant blue on top of that, but over the black it'll get kind of muted to more of a deep blue. Let's try that instead of trying to be really meticulous with what I put black on and what I don't. Because I think that sounds like too much work. It's a plan. I've gotten black all over the horns. Let's see if I can pull some of that up here. Okay, so that's the black. So let me get some of this vibrant blue on my palette here. And then if I go over some of the black parts with it kind of watered down, then in theory, it'll look great. A little bit more. I joke to my husband sometimes that my job is basically just like making little guys and playing Barbie dress up with them. So my camera has switched to the wide angle again. Let's just stop doing that. And that really feels like what I'm doing now. Just being like, what color should I make her hair? I'll make it blue. No, I'll make it red. No, I'll make it purple. Pretty good job, honestly. Yeah, right? I could definitely do worse. Okay, so I've given her some blue highlights. I don't dye my hair, so I don't know how this looks. Okay, I am so mad right now. Why does my camera keep switching out to the narrow or to the wide field of view? It's super annoying. Okay. So this is what we got with the blue highlights. I don't know how visible that is. But I didn't go in super hard. But I kind of like it. It looks kind of punk. I might go back in later and do it a little bit more. But I'm going to work on the face for now. Now you said to go in with orange? But I think maybe what I'll do is, because I want to use the red and like just gradually lighten up the red. So maybe what I'll do is, rather than using that opal skin tone, I'll use this Dorado skin tone to keep it a little warmer. And just gradually mix it with the red to get these highlight colors. It might still be too pink, so you might be right about the orange. But we're gonna start here and see. It's all vibes based. But yeah, you're right, this is pretty pink. So let's do orange. Grab another towel here. Mine's getting a little bit soggy. I accidentally bought the paper towels at the grocery store that come in the big sheets rather than the little ones. So I've been cutting them in half, which is super annoying, but I don't know why they make I don't know why they make the big sheets. I don't like them. Okay, we were mixing paint colors. I see exactly what you're saying now, Shiro, and I really appreciate you. Because this is much more the color that I was wanting. I see you, and I hear you, and I appreciate you. Okay, because now we've got much more of like a peachy color. Yeah. I'm just gonna like mess around with mixing up these colors a little bit, because I'm not feeling super confident about the gradient. Just trying to help. Yeah, you did help. Good job. Thank you. Oh my god. We're getting butterfingers out here. You're so smart. I never would have thought of this. Because it's true. Light red is just pink. Why? I don't know. Okay, but yeah, I think this is a better color for the mid highlights, and then we'll use this one for the lightest ones. So smart. Alright, we're gonna start on the back actually. Just gonna build these up real nice and slow. This might be kind of a short stream here, because I do have a couple of chores that I'm trying to get done. Also, I'm trying to go pick up a lamp from Facebook Marketplace. So I might have to wrap this up here kind of soon so I can drive to Redmond. I'm excited about the lamp. We've been making some changes to our living room. And we bought a new couch. We bought a couch from Ethan Allen, which is like one of the most grown-up sentences I feel a person living in America can say. I don't know if Ethan Allen is like a company that is in other countries, but yeah, we bought a new couch from Ethan Allen, and so that's supposed to get here in July, because they're like made to order. And then so we're getting rid of our sectional and buying a second end table, and the end table needs a lamp. So I've been looking out for cool lamps on Facebook Marketplace, and I found this one, and it's like one of those Tiffany style lamps that's like made out of stained glass, and it's super pretty. It's like, see, it keeps switching back out to this wide field of view. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, it's like blue and green, and it's got this kind of like old brassy looking base. So I think it's gonna be really pretty. And I was very brave and did my first trimmings, or not trimmings, I propagated my pothos, which is like the second ever houseplant I've ever managed to keep alive. So I propagated that, and I did a couple starters, and I put those in some pots, and those are gonna go in the living room. I'm really excited. Nothing like a recession to make you think, maybe I could just make my house look better. Anyways, that's all to say. I've been trying to shop like used and consignment. For the most part. We went to a consignment store in Seattle up on Greenwood Ave and bought this kind of vintage turquoise love seat. Super fun. Which is fun because we moved into our house like 2 years ago and we have like we didn't buy any new furniture for it when we moved in. We just like used all our existing furniture from our last place. And so it's kind of fun to get some new stuff. My partner and I are getting new furniture too. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I also am going to dye my bed frame and my headboard because I have an upholstered headboard and it's millennial gray. And I want to change out my bedroom, but I do not want to buy a whole new bed. Because we already bought the couch, and the couch was like our big ticket spending item. So I didn't want to buy a whole new bed frame, but I looked online and I found this dye that's specifically for upholstered furniture, so you don't have to like rinse it out. So I'm gonna try that. As soon as we get like a really nice, warm, sunny weekend, I'm gonna give that a shot. So yeah, looking forward to that. But that's all to say, I don't think I'm gonna stream for too much longer this afternoon. So we might have to, I might finish getting paint on her and then do the dragon next time. Thank you. Maybe I'll post some pictures on my stories once we get it going. The thing about Facebook Marketplace though is since the couch is not going to be getting here for a little while, I have not bought the new coffee table on which the lamp will reside. But the thing about Facebook Marketplace is if you see something that you like, you kind of have to, you know, go for it. So the lamp will just be sitting around in my shed probably for a few weeks. I should actually email the lady who sold us our couch, see if she has any updates for us. I'm excited though. I hope that we never have to buy another couch after this one. See, I might do just one shade lighter. Or darker, I mean. Okay, what happens if I just zoom the camera in? Because I'm really annoyed with it continuously zooming out like this. There. Let's see if it stays that way. Okay. Then I'm gonna mix this paint color with this paint color to make a little in-between shade. I think that's how that works. Do her little cheekbones. I can never figure out where to put the shading on faces, if I'm being so honest. Like, I know it's supposed to be on, like, the highest points of the face, but, like, what does that actually mean? See, the nice thing about that cultist guy that I was so excited about is that he had that whole mask thing covering up his face. So I didn't have to worry about that. And I suppose I can kind of look at my render that I've got up here and be like, okay, this is what points, like, the render has being lighter. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so that has, like, just the very tops of her cheekbones being lighter. So I might actually go back in here and kind of darken up this lower part of her face. And we'll just keep the tops of her cheekbones this really highlighted shade. Okay, yeah, I think that already looks better. What in the heck happened to the front of her shirt? Why did it get... Are you seeing this? How did I get it all covered in splotches? What the heck? What the heck? How did I do that? When did I do that? Okay. I'll fix that later. Okay, her face is coming along. I'm gonna kind of continue to build up these really highlighted parts. how once you get a reference, suddenly you know what to do. This is going to be the first time I actually get to see the end of. Potentially. I know, I think also my streams tend to be pretty long. I don't know how great that is for my endurance. I think that I could benefit from setting up a little bit more structure in my live streams. Always use a reference, yeah, Natalie. You dummy. But yeah, I kind of think my streams are a little bit long and a little bit aimless. And I kind of think that if I structured them a little bit more, I would feel a little bit less tired when I'm done. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this lighter color on her neck. Because my main goal in 2025 is to not get burnt out. Well, that's one of my main goals. I have a handful of goals, but a big one is to not get burnt out and then start 2026 in January being like, wow, I am exhausted. Just do what you can. I only ever stream for an hour or so. Yeah. And I kind of get, I always have this feeling of like, well, I should have a finished product by the end of the stream, because then that will make it feel like I like completed something and I'll have something to show for it. But like, I don't know that that's necessarily the mindset to have. I think that it would be good if I maybe rethought that strategy a little bit. And I should set more of a schedule. TBH. For a bunch of reasons. Okay. So the very lightest part there is like right on the top of her cheek, where you would put the highlighter if you were putting on makeup. Wow. Okay, I think the face looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit like, I don't know, it's not very like even. Like I put most of the shading on the front part of the face and not so much on the back part of the face. And maybe I should go even it out a little bit. I think I might do that actually. A little bit. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will draw on her lips and her eyeballs. Oh, I already had some black on my palette. I'm really doing well. do a nice little like mauve situation for her lips. Nobody move. I am painting fine facial features. All right. Lips look good. Eyeballs. Thank you. I will also hold my breath. We'll both hold our breath, and that will be what does it. Okay, there's one. I may have missed the mark a little bit on this one. We're gonna go in and try again though. Okay, I think I saved it. Okay. We're halfway done with the eyes now. It's time to do the little white dots on either side of the black. That's how I do my eyes. It tends to work pretty well. 60% of the time, it works every time. Okay. Holding our breath again. I fucked it. Alright, I fucked that one up. It's okay. We'll just cover it up. Okay. I'll really make sure this is holding a point here. Okay. Ah, yeah, blame the tools. That'll help. Alright, well, could be worse. It could be worse. Gonna go in here and do a little touching up. What's that old saying about a tradesman? I have no idea, but I will be here when you come up with it. A good tradesman never blames their tool. Well, that's why I didn't blame my tools. Okay, I think our face is looking pretty good. Trying to decide if I want to do more of these blue highlights. Or if I want to make them a little bit more purple, maybe. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try a little alien purple here. Okay, I think I like the purple a little bit more than that blue that I had. And I might go over it with a dark wash just to kind of deepen it up a little tiny bit. Oh, I did a bunch of squats and lunges the other day at the gym, and my legs are so sore. I swear to God, I've been trying so hard to work out more, but every time I do even one single lunge, you'd think that I had never ever moved my body in my life before because I get so sore. Okay, yeah. I'm just putting a little tiny bit of a dark wash over this purple and blue hair streaks, and I'm really liking that. Okay, I think that's coming together really nicely. I think that's most of her clothes looking pretty good. I'm just filling her little There's just a few little white patches in between the little tools that are on her booty. I don't know if you've like seen that part, but she's got like little tool belt on the back of her here. So yeah, I might do another stream later this week where I work on her some more. Work on her little tools, little potions, her little object here she's got in her hand, her goggles. There's so many good little details on this model. And so yeah, maybe I'll do another stream later this week where I work on her. I don't have a ton of sculpting coming up in the next few weeks that I'm planning on doing. I'm mostly just working on getting the Patreon together. Hold on. I'm chatting here. Let me show you my face. Okay, hello. Whoa, that's so zoomed in. Ah. Okay, there we go. We'll do... Okay, but yeah, maybe I'll do another stream later this week, where I can work on her a little bit more. I don't have a ton of painting planned, or a ton of sculpting planned for the next few weeks because I'm trying to just get everything set up for the Patreon, because I'm trying to launch that beginning of June. I really think it's doable. I'm just going back and test printing and putting some pre-supports on my entire catalog of models, old models from like old Kickstarters that I did where I didn't offer pre-supports, but now I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna launch a Patreon and like have a library that people are subscribing to every month, I should probably offer pre-supports on everything. So that's kind of the big last step before I launch the Patreon. So that's kind of what I'm working on here. I'm trying to get these model updates painted so that they're ready to get posted, and then get those pre-supports done, and then launch it. So that is to say, the next few streams are probably all going to be painting streams. So yeah, I liked this. This was chill. Hopefully you had a fun time too. Good color inputs. I appreciated that a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna head out and I will see you on the next one. Bye!